fans, AdamHarry back in with more Deathwatch Overkill excitement. We have the rulebook today. We've already covered the miniatures for the Deathwatch Marines and the Gene Stealer cults. We're pretty pumped about this. This is our fourth video technically in this series. Big Red's joining me. Say hi, Big Red.
Hi, everybody.
We're going to take a look at the book. I'm pretty stoked about this. We've already spent some time flipping through here, so let's go ahead and dive on in.
Alrighty.
First things first, Big Red, why don't you introduce this page?
Well, we do have a product here that's set in the Grimdark. So, of course, how do you... what's the first page of any product that's set in the Grimdark going to start with?
Some death.
Some death. Someone dying horribly. What we have here is we have the...
this is a Vox communique.
This is the communication of apparently the B team. These are the...
or were they the A team?
They're
the dead team now.
They're the Deathwatch killed team.
Oh, I see what they did there.
Who went in first and from a bunch of chapters.
You can tell because it's all different chapters, and it's kind of you can tell what's going on. Like,
and they all
ambushed,
and they all die.
Yeah. So
there we go.
Yeah. Again, more Ghost Star Quintus. We're not going to go through the entire book page by page. It's 48 pages, full color, obviously, but we want to cover some of the highlights.
Right.
Again, lots of introduction.
Lots of beautiful art in this book. In general, as we're flipping through this book, you're going to see that it's split up to where everything in white. This is all the actual rules, and then lots of the pages have these sections in black. This is all background. This is actually kind of cool. So this is the big mining world that it's set on, and you'll notice if all you old Necromunda players, this is the cross section of the mine. You can see all the different levels.
Down hive.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a hive that's fucking.
Bum bum bum. So keep flipping here.
So you got an introduction. Here we go. Here's our components. So
we've covered a lot of these components already, but we'll run through them real quick. We have the data cards and data sheets. That's what this stuff is. The data sheet is actually the back of this book. Quick reference stuff. We've got the Broodmind cards here. That's
right here.
Those are for the unique cards. We'll go over them more detail later, but those cards are for the Gene Stealer player, Gene Stealer cult player. It has ambushes and gambits for them to run.
It's reinforcements.
Reinforcements, how they come on the board, basically.
Exactly.
The different board sections, it's all those actual things. The range ruler, which is pretty cool. It's got 3 different ranges on it. We'll cover all those in more detail later.
It's transparent.
It's transparent, which is a nice touch. And then, of course, dice. This is a GW game, after all.
So it's got lots of D6s, just like you love it.
Yep.
More background.
Awesome, cool stuff. The turn sequence, very simple turn sequence, right?
Yep.
Just Broodmind phase, that's where they get to draw their cards and place them. Deathwatch Commander movement phase, that's when the Deathwatch guys move. Gene Stealer Cultist movement phase, what happens there?
That's when they move.
Dun, dun, dun. And then Deathwatch Commander attack phase, that's when they get to unload. We'll get into how the attacks work here in a minute. Gene Stealer Cultist attack phase, so they get to strike after them. And then what's that last phase, Big Red?
That is the Deathwatch Commander second attack phase. I'm going to actually read this for you. Such is the skill and training of the Deathwatch that they can attack for a second time, reaping a harvest of dead aliens in the Emperor's name.
Ouch.
Yeah, so just kind of in the same vein as Space Hulk, in general, how these games are going to work is you're going to have, this is definitely
waves of
the Seven Samurai kind of a game. You're going to have your small Deathwatch, and you're just going to be mowing down aliens, and they're just going to keep on coming, and you're going to be mowing them down. It's going to be that kind of game.
And again, the kicker is, of course, that Broodmind phase. Those Gene Stealers are coming back.
Oh yeah.
Every time you kill one, he goes back in the reserve pile to come back in later.
And he's going to be coming right back.
Oh yeah. So it just represents that unending horde.
Yep.
Of Gene Stealer cult coming at you.
Orton Cassius needs to brush his teeth.
Yeah, they're bloody.
Look at that. Once again, call out Games Workshop. Can you please make this?
Yes.
I want this. Make this in metal and
medallion
and sell it. Because people will buy this.
Golden chrome.
Just putting that out there. All right.
Broodmind phase. We talked about this already.
Yeah. So
those cards.
So the Gene Stealer player is going to be. He'll be drawing his reinforcement cards. He can and then we'll show you those cards later on. But each of those cards has 2 different abilities on it. You can choose to use them
as ambush.
As ambush, which gives you reinforcements, or you can choose to use them as a gambit, which is basically special abilities and special powers.
Yeah. And again, when you deploy them as ambushes, you actually put them on the board edge that they're supposed to come in next to a zone, like that. You can kind of see here. And then that when you reveal the ambush card, whatever units are on the ambush card,
models,
you place them,
and then onto the board they run.
And they go.
If you played Space Hulk, you know the concept.
Yeah. More awesome,
more dudes. Also, just in case you all know, do these all seem familiar? They are, because each of these guys has a little tiny Black Library novella.
Oh!
You can go grab them from Black Library, read all about it.
It's almost like they planned that.
It is almost like they planned it.
So the movement phase. This one's pretty straightforward. Each of those zones on the board, on the actual board faces, represents a zone that you can move, and
Correct.
each model has a movement stat, usually
Correct.
between 2
and 4,
something like that.
And basically, when it is your turn, you get to move that many adjacent zones. Dunk, 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 dunk. You just kind of move the model around and put them down.
There is one special movement ability, though, I want to call it too, which is the jumping ability. It actually uses the assault range on the whippy stick, the rangefinder.
Which is very short.
Yes, very, very short.
It's like about an inch and a half, probably, somewhere in there.
Inch and a half, 2 inches. To jump zones and stuff like that. There are board tiles with gaps in them, so you can actually jump those gaps. And the jumping, it's not risk-free per se.
Yes.
On a roll of you roll a d6 after you make the jump successfully. On a 1 though,
you get injured.
You fell over, you twisted your ankle, you landed wrong, a metal shard stabbed you in the foot, something like that, and you are wounded. So.
Yep.
For some of the weaker characters, that might actually kill them. So,
oh yeah,
there's no armor saves on that.
Nope, not at all.
So
that is definitely the classic Hollywood. If you roll that 1 and it's one of your Deathwatch guys or one of the important guys or Patriarch, he's going to be like rah and be all injured and flip his stat card over to the wounded side. But if it's your Hollywood extra hybrid, into the abyss he goes.
You better cue that Wilhelm scream because down he's going.
Never to be seen again until he comes back next.
Back, he launches himself from the abyss into the resource pool.
Into the reserve pool.
So launching ambushes, again, we talked about that with the ambush cards. They don't actually have to be revealed immediately. So we're not going to go over all this stuff. Like I said, we're going to skip around a little bit more.
More beautiful artwork,
yes,
as you've seen. Attacks.
We do want to cover attacks, though.
We will talk about attacks, however. So every card, we're going to give you this little example here.
That is Cassius's card. He's got 2 different weapon profiles.
And then every weapon each turn a model is going to choose one of the weapon profiles on his card that he wants to use.
Yep.
And then that weapon profile, it lists how many dice you roll and what your target to wound is, to hit is.
Yes.
For that attack, for each of the 3 range bands. So as an example, Cassius has one attack that's rolling 3 dice at assault range, which is very close, and then it rolls 1 at
I think that's his bolt pistol and Crozius.
And then nothing at long, and it has a special rule, which is rending. There are 3 special rules in this game.
In fact, let's skip to those real quick.
Some attacks have.
Just going to skip ahead real fast.
Right there.
There's Blast, Rend, and Cleave.
Right.
The funny part is, I think they mixed up Rend and Cleave compared to some of the other rules.
It's artist choice.
Artist choice is true. It's true.
Artist
rending is basically if you have extra hits. So if there's only one enemy, and you roll the attack range or whatever, there was one guy in the zone or 2 guys in the zone, and you were focusing on that one guy. If you have a rend ability, you can then get any extra hits on that one that killed him. You have extra ones, you can move him over to the second guy.
Exactly.
Or third guy.
Right. So you can use exactly. You can use extra your additional dice that haven't been rolled yet to harm other models in the target zone.
Yeah. Well, no, you roll them out once, and any extra ones go over. So it's pretty cool. And then Cleave, that is no armor save.
Correct.
Which is again kind of reverse of what you would expect, but
Blast is the third one. Blast is exactly what you think it is. If a weapon has the blast value, that means that weapon automatically targets all models in the target zone.
Pretty cool.
So you can just totally nail groups of people who are all grouped up.
So other than that, there is armor saves. Again, I don't want to go through everything; it'll take forever. But you get the idea. Armor saves. If you have an armor save value, you get hit. You get to roll your armor save and count.
We've already done this.
Yeah.
Live right past it. You have your beautiful heavy, and that's it. That is the end of the rule. So the game is that simple.
Yeah.
It's really, really quick. You're going to be playing this game in about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you have all the beautiful minis. They're all beautiful. They're all there. All the guys.
Yeah. Very, very cool.
As seen in Black Library novels. All the cult.
Yep.
Which are just.
And we've looked at the miniatures already, the sprues in the previous videos.
These are just some beautiful models.
Really cool stuff.
Beautiful.
They look even better painted up.
Yes, they do.
And missions. Let's go over one example mission real quick.
Yeah.
We'll break down what the missions look like and then go through one example because there's 9 missions and it's kind of the storyline. I don't want to give all that away.
Exactly.
Either.
It's a big narrative campaign. It starts it starts off with the Deathwatch Kill team arrives and it's going to proceed all the way down to them investigating, delving ever deeper into that mining complex.
Tougher and tougher enemies.
Exactly. It's going to get, and then I'm sure at the very end, during the climax, there's going to be a patriarch.
I bet it's going to be more than one patriarch
hanging out down there on a waterbed.
With a segue. So here's what's going on. First off, you have the mission map. So each mission has a unique placement for the board tiles. Their own unique map.
Shows you exactly how to do it.
Mission objectives: what you're supposed to complete in the mission as a Deathwatch guy, as the Gene Stealer guy. You're just trying to kill him, pretty much.
Sure.
muster your kill team. That's the location where they are supposed to start at, and any special rules.
If you've played Space Hulk, you know exactly what all this stuff.
Broodmind deck, that explains how to actually form the Broodmind deck. Again, they are unique per mission, so they're not all going to have the same cards every time.
Which is very cool.
And then any additional special rules for the missions. Pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and flip to mission 2. Again, more awesome artwork.
More awesome art.
Every story, every mission has a cool storyline.
Yeah, so you get a little bit of this. Now, this is actually cool. So, with each mission, this little background section here, you're getting a little bit of the Vox transmissions of the actual members of the guys you're playing as they move into position.
Right.
And then here you go. So mission 2, Vox Noctis. You have your objectives here. Tells you what you're supposed to do. Here's the board. You're going to set it up using the 6 tiles. These are the right here. You notice here's the Deathwatch muster zone. So you guys are going to start off here in these 3
and then
zones.
Each one of these symbols is an ambush point for the Gene Sealers.
Right. So those Gene Sealers, as they're pulling those reinforcement cards, they can put those things. I
just want to point this out too. There's the muster zone. There's 2 ambush points right there.
Yeah. So you are surrounded in this mission. And then there is an energy cell zone, which is
part of the special rules.
There's 4 of them, and I'm sure that is probably that has to do with the objective.
Yes, the mission objective for this one is the Deathwatch Commander's objective is to shut down the Master Vox unit before more reinforcements can be summoned. So, that's the key objective there.
Right.
Kill team special rules.
Right, and
there's only 6 Marines after the board has been set up.
So to win this mission, as an example, mission 2, to do that, you have to have one of your models in each of those 4 zones, and if you do that, you immediately win the mission.
Yep.
So note, it's going to take 4 models to do it.
You start with 6.
You start with 6. So
you do the math.
I would say do not dilly-dally with that is a lot of
expendable.
That is a lot of reinforcements.
Yeah, but that's basically one of the missions. And again, just to flip back real fast, each one of these missions has different map zones and stuff. There's a really long mission 4.
That's a cool one.
So
we're not going to show you all these. We're just going to skip to the end. So this is a full
48 pages.
How many?
There were 9 missions total.
Mission 9.
And then of course the last mission is, I just want to point this out. That's the eliminate the threat. That's the big board.
Wow, that's the use all the tiles mission.
Exactly.
Cool. I like that.
All right, so we have more background.
Now we're at the very end of the book. So as we saw with Betrayal at Kolth, now we get the I got this game as a present. What is this Warhammer 40,000? This is the background section that actually tells you what all these things are. So here's your page on Deathwatch Kill Teams, what they are and what this is all about.
Again, GW, make that. I want one.
I would take one of those too. But
make one for one of each.
But I really want one. If I could have that like on top of a cane. Or a stick, a hidden stick.
Yes.
All right.
So there's that. And then we have the final background, which we're not going to spoil at all.
We will not.
But you do get...
Keep your hand over that.
I'll keep my hand over that.
and then you have the just the general, the quick reference sheet.
Yeah, you can basically just turn to the back page and use that quick reference. But that's all of the rules. Again, you saw in there, a lot of that is missions. There's 18 pages devoted to missions. There's artwork and all that fun stuff. There's not a ton of rules. It's very simple, very quick play. I still really like the book. Quality-wise, it's excellent. It's really, high gloss.
It's really well done. All the components are, same thing. Typical Games Workshop quality level.
Oh yeah.
The box is that really, really thick, heavy-duty card that you saw in Betrayal at Kolth. It's not kind of the really thin, easily damaged stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really, really. I mean, they've put a lot of time and effort into the production quality.
Yeah. So it's a great. In addition to the models, again, the box quality, as a board game, I can see myself actually playing this one and having a lot of fun with it. It's 9 missions, 2-player, super quick, very intense gameplay. So go check it out. Should be in stores soon, if not a week or 2 from now, by the time you watch this video.
It's definitely, you can pre-order it right now.
Heck yeah. So that's, this is the rulebook video. We've got one more after this one, so stick around, come back and see that. But Bigger and I are signing off. I'm AdamHarry from BoLS.
And I'm Larry Vela.
Have a good one.
Have a great one.